Well, we have about 3 minutes left, but I do want to ask each of you, because there are a lot of young people here, first-time attendees, and this conversation will be shared virtually. If you were entering your career or you were starting your career today, what skill sets do you most value? So as a professional moving forward, and secondly, in your role in leading these organizations, what do you look for from potential colleagues, people you would take on board? Any thoughts? I'm going to start with you, Ahmad.
Yeah, I believe discipline is very important. Believe in what you do and strongly working, dedicated to your goal. Don't give up. You will do a mistake. We all done a mistake, all of us. But we believe that we'll try again once, try twice, thrice, then we will win. And that's what's happened with us. In Dubai, we face a lot of challenge. Yeah. And trust me, I've been through this in my life and I've seen it. And I'm very confident. If you believe in what you do, you have a discipline, punctuality, you know what you do, you will be there.
Don't be afraid to fail.
Absolutely.
Megan, do you want to? All right, I'm gonna go right down the line. We're going to end with you, because it's all right. I was trying to do you a favor and not be last. But Earl,
well, I would add on just like take some risks and be curious. I think what you guys talked about and what you're doing at IDEA as far as the learning part of it, I think that's great. I just heard one of our interns here in Minnesota is going to apply for a job in San Francisco. He's taking a risk, and going out there and believing in yourself and don't be afraid to fail a little bit.
Yeah, very good. Carlisle, what are you looking for as you hire? By the way, Ahmad told me last night, how many employees at Empower now? 1,700?
No, 1,300.
1,300. 1,300 employees. Big shop. I'm sorry, Carlisle, I interrupted.
Well, I just want to start by saying I love the fact that we didn't talk about hard skills like the first two, Ahmad and Earl, and you're really talking about personality traits, and I think that's exceptionally important right now. The biggest thing I would say from our perspective, or one of the biggest things, and I think it's just a generational, is resilience is so important. As you talk about the unknown, we're in a world that we're all facing it. You're talking about what do our customers need? They need us to make their lives easier. We need to really understand and think about things. But being able to weather all of these storms, I think it's just a really heavy time, and resilience is exceptionally important.
Thank you. Thanks, Carlisle. Frank?
Yeah, I remember I had one mentor early in my engineering career. I was a mechanical design engineer, and he asked me what our clients were paying for. And I answered, well, my drawings. I drew my design, they're paying for my drawings. And they said, no, they're not paying for your drawings. They're paying for your ideas and your knowledge that you transfer to the paper and communicate to them. So I guess my feedback to you, especially engineers, we're not the best communicators, but I took that advice from that mentor and I joined a speech club, I got my MBA in marketing and worked on my communication, because if I can't communicate my ideas and my thoughts to a customer or a client or a regulator, then I'm only half effective at my job. So I encourage each of you to work on your communication skills, whether it's written, verbal, presentation, as you progress in your career, because you may find yourself in the middle of a panel of experts where you have to answer some questions, and I encourage you to work on that as you progress in your career.
Literally in the middle.
Literally in the middle, right.
Well done, Frank. Luke?
To me, it starts with character, it starts with values, integrity, work ethic, humility. You build from there. I think the gentlemen that preceded me here have described a lot of the same things that I think about. Another bit of advice I would throw out there is, be a sponge early on in your career. Yeah. Surround yourself with people that want to mentor you and develop you and grow you into the energy professional that you want to be. And at the same time, don't underestimate the impact that you can have early on in your career. We have a few interns working for us this summer that are just in the beginning stages of gathering some information from a large stakeholder group that we think could lead to some pretty important strategic level conversations in the years and decades ahead. And they're excited about the work that they're doing. They're inspired by that work. Even though they're with us for a short period of time, that work could have a long-lasting impact on our organization.
Excellent. Oh, that's wonderful. Well done. Thank you, Luke. Kevin?
I don't think there's a replacement for knowing the business well, or knowing the customers well, or knowing the plant well. So I like seeing candidates and people that show an eagerness to learn and an ambition to try to get to know something at a level of detail and depth that you just can't replace. And it's also something that'll serve you well through your entire career. So that's knowledge that you can take to many different companies on how plants work, customers work, how the business works, and benefits you later on. So I like to see an eagerness to learn and really get into the details of how we conduct business.
So be curious. Yeah, very good. Thanks, Kevin. Diego. Thank you, Kevin. Diego.
Intellectual curiosity, discipline, and courage. And just on the last one, just a really quick anecdote. A few years ago, I hired a young engineer, and I asked him to send over some written materials he's put together from school or whatever, because engineers are notoriously bad communicators, as I think most of us know. And so he sent a Dropbox file and had a whole bunch of reports from school and university, so I go through, see that, but he also sent a video of himself rapping his valedictorian speech. So I didn't read a single document he said. I watched the video and hired him the next day. So that, to me, is courage in your convictions.
So creativity also counts. Yeah,
that's right.
Very good. Thank you, Diego. Megan.
I agree with all of these. I think they're brilliant answers, and collectively, I think the one we are missing is patience. So we work on long-term infrastructure solutions, and we are at that point in history where we are modernizing our systems, no matter where you're at in this industry, right? And so sometimes these take a long time to get through, and it's just the first step. So the e-boiler is just the first step. It's not the elimination of natural gas yet, right? And so I think we need that perspective to just be patient and collaborate and stay in it together. And I think this industry will really, for the next 100 years, we're going to form district energy for the next 100 years. We have that luxury. It is an absolute privilege that we find ourselves in our careers at this point in history. So be patient.
Very good. Thank you. Well, please join me in thanking our panel for their participation.